This
EC
conference will
payroll.
now be recorded.
Yes, yes, for ECPL, yes. That's right.
Okay. So now EC payroll, do you understand the basic difference between the ERP and EC payroll?
Yeah, yes, yes, I understand.
So the EC payroll is nothing but the cloud version of the payroll. So it is basically the same ERP's payroll functionality remains the same, but in case of EC payroll, the EC, the employee central will be the source of data. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all the employee data, all the master data will be maintained in employee central with respect to the various modules, and
Mm-hmm.
the data flows into employee central payroll, and only the info types which are necessary for payroll, running the payroll for that particular country, will only be replicated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
basically, so the employee central payroll basically consists of, the first step is we need to connect the employee central instance or whatever the instance you have to the correct employee central payroll instance. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that goes with a standard config. We need to run a transaction to connect these two systems, and
Mm-hmm.
after connecting these two systems, we go with the P2P configuration or the point to point replication mapping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in the replication mapping, we will be mapping each and every info type which is part of the standard replication. Like we have 0, 1, 3 is by default, 2, 5, 6, all these basic info types will be replicated.
Mm-hmm.
And any additional info types with respect to, for example, you have any kind of tax info types with respect to if you're a country specific payroll, then that
Mm-hmm.
has to be done via BADI within the P2P.
Okay.
Okay, so that is two things which we have to do. And the third thing is, since EC payroll is hosted on a cloud, that means
Mm-hmm.
SAP owns the data center. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
everything is through the SAP. So once
Mm-hmm.
we request a EC payroll instance, they will provide one development system, two quality, three quality systems, and one production system. These five instances they will give by default.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and in order to connect to these instances via SAP GUI, you need to install an SNC tunnel, and that would be a basis activity.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the basic steps we need to take care. The next step is, everything is driven by EC, Employee Central. We need to just replicate to EC payroll, and any interfaces which requires payroll results, only those will be considered to be developed in EC payroll system.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For example, any kind of benefit deductions, or you say the off cycles, or any kind of deductions which you are sending it to the vendor, which reads the payroll results, only will be considered for EC payroll. Rest of
Mm-hmm.
all the demographic data will be done via employee central only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so only EC payroll system is purely to run the payroll, nothing else. There will be no
Okay.
reports generated out of a employee central, except, or like I can say, only if there is a payroll results being considered.
Okay. No, but in payroll
Okay.
we do have payroll register. We do have like payroll reconciliation reports. We do have different reports. So how those reports will work then? Because data will not go
Yeah.
revert back to AC.
Yeah. All the payroll reporting is still, those standard reports can be run in EC payroll only. The employee central will only host the employee data.
Okay.
Okay, and EC payroll will have web GUI links as well as the SAP GUI. Okay, to set up an SNC tunnel, it will almost take a month to month and a half for the basis team to set up the SAP GUI, like you see for the ERP system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
Okay.
when you come to employee central payroll, the security or the transport management, everything is done by the same consultant. Or if you say there is only one requirement for technical and one functional, will be more than enough to implement the employee central payroll.
Okay.
Okay, so again, there are certain subdivisions also within. You need a system to see, and I will take in detail all the probabilities or how the system is getting connected, how we report EC payroll, and what are the info types, how do we do the P2P configuration, mapping, everything I'll
Mhm.
be showing you in the subsequent sessions.
Okay. But you haven't talked
And
about
it
a
will be,
PCC, Payroll Control Center.
uh, your voice is like, coming very little low.
I'm saying you haven't talked about Payroll Control Center.
Yeah, so that is an add-on for us. That is an add-on. So I can explain you the payroll control center. So it's a new way of running the payroll. So now earlier days, what we used to do is we used to like set the control record and then run the payroll driver program, then consolidate and then run the posting program and then do the bank transfer, right? That everything will be automated in the payroll control center, and that is a pure add-on. Now client, not all clients will go with that approach. I have done around 7 implementations. Out of 7, only 5 opted for payroll control center.
Okay. No,
They
but
some
on
clients, it totally depends on the client to client basis.
okay. So see, I want to make what my major part is P2P that you have covered, and from Payroll Control Center, I'm looking for the validation part, pre-payroll validation, production payroll validation, and how can I
Yeah,
generate the DME file from the Payroll Control Center, and how can I do the posting from the Payroll Control Center. That
yeah,
all
yeah. That I'll
configuration,
be.
I'm looking for that part to get trained on that.
Yeah, yeah. So we can do, yes. I have we can go with that session also. I have the complete process also. We have done around 10 implementation for payroll control center. So everything right from the monitoring phase. So first we will do the monitoring phase. So monitoring phase means we are running the payroll, but it is not storing in the cluster. It goes and stores in the declustered tables. Okay. Now from those declustered tables, we will try to identify the errors or issues ahead of time. Like
Mhm.
let's say you run the payroll, you get a lot of issues, right? You have very limited time to rectify that, right? That
Mhm.
is why SAP introduced the payroll control center. Now payroll control center, what it does is it will run a pre-payroll for you. Let's say you are trying to run a second period,
Sure.
let's say of 2023.
Mhm.
Now I want to know what will happen in second period of 2023 ahead of time so that I can
Mhm.
rectify those issues. Then comes the payroll control center. So now payroll control center, we will run the second period, but it won't go and store in the cluster, but it will go and store in the declustered tables. And from that declustered tables, that value stored in that, we will have certain alerts like missing address, or yeah, you have like missing gross pay greater than 10%. All these kind of scenarios or the payroll related issues, we will track them. And once the real payroll runs, by the time you will already have resolved all these issues prior to your live run. So that
Mhm.
is the advantage of payroll control center. So I'll show
Mhm.
you like how we do the monitoring, then we'll run the live payroll, then we'll do the posting, then we do the bank transfer also.
Mhm.
So I'll be teaching that as well.
Okay. So for posting, how it will work? Because usually posting happen in S4.
It's HR posting, I mean to say.
Yeah, yeah. I'm saying for GL posting, usually that part happen in S4. So, are we connecting S4 to the PCC or how it works? I'm not. That's what I want to understand from your
So
side.
your
So,
S4, we need to connect via ALE IDOC.
okay.
So what will happen is you will do the HR posting here, like you will create the posting document, you will release it, but the
Mm-hmm.
transfer will happen that the transfer status of 50 will be recorded because it is
Mm-hmm.
going to the third system, finance
Mm-hmm.
system, where your GL or the symbolic accounts are actually mapped to your actual GL accounts in
Correct.
finance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that is a different scenario where you have an SAP finance system sitting on top of payroll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the rest of the, that is again the standard configuration. It is an ALE
You
which
will
we
cover
need to
that.
connect, and
Okay.
yes, so that we will see all the payroll control center, all the how to connect, how we do the mapping, how we run the payroll control center. how we resolve the data replication issues, how we monitor those, how to enable the direct pay statement from
Mhm.
EC. All these topics I'll be covering.
Okay. And in terms of time management, if time evaluation happens in EC, then that data will go to payroll. That also you'll cover, correct?
See, the time off is another secondary module. It is a completely different module. It comes under Employee Central, basically.
No, that's what I'm saying. Time off or time sheet, you can say overtime or absences and attendance, both are done EC, and that need to be replicated to ECP. That you will cover, correct?
Yes, yes. Yeah, so absences will be replicated to 2001 and
Hmm?
the timesheet will be replicated to 2010. There is the standard program. I will cover that as well.
Okay, okay. And as per your knowledge, how long it will take to get complete this all these topics?
It will take to around, I can say 30 to 35 hours.
Okay,
I can complete based on your understanding of the concepts. We can complete by 30 hours.
okay,
I
okay.
can take daily
And
1 hour or 2 hours as per your convenience, and then we can finish early as per your understanding.
okay, okay, sure.
That is a course, and yeah. So you are trying to implement EC payroll. Then I will show you what are the things you should ask to the client in the initial phases.
Mm-hmm.
That is very important because it doesn't work the way ERP works. So you
Mm-hmm.
need to know certain things before you set up they'll expect you to help them in setting up the EC payroll system. So I'll
Okay.
tell you what are the points which you need to ask to the client, how initially we set up the EC payroll systems.
Okay. So see, I'm only looking from ECP side. For EC side, I am very much clear. I know what EC side I need to do. So that part I'm not looking for in the training part. I'm only looking for the point-to-point application and everything that need to be done to payroll through PCC. That I'm looking for.
Okay, you are interested in the EC payroll side, right?
Yes, okay, because EC I already know we have to maintain the limits on the different objects. We have to maintain that. That I'm already aware of the pick list, everything I'm aware, and also time
Okay.
management, everything I'm aware of that. I'm looking how the data replicate to P2P
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how it get calculated and how we run payroll through PCC and how we generate the files, how we generate the pay slips, and how we do the posting. This cycle I'm looking for.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is a part of it. Yes.
So if
Yeah, you
I'm
can
doing
finish
the
it early
ECC side,
also. Based on your understanding, we can finish early also. Since you know a lot of topics, we can cover and we can concentrate on the mapping and all that stuff.
yes, yes, yes.
Any
Okay,
questions you
yes.
have?
No, 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 no question on that. So I will connect with Sai on
Okay.
that.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
Thanks.